It was a frustrating game anyway, because if it wasn't my mistakes, which I've watched it back and it wasn't actually as bad as I thought it was, but everyone was making unforced errors that we don't normally make as a team. And obviously Canada came out the blocks firing. Scored in the first 5 minutes. It was a bit of like a kick up the bum, really, in the first 5 minutes, definitely. And then, got that yellow card.
Sorry. I just laugh because I saw a clip of it today on my TikTok.
Yeah, same. I've seen it. And it says, Ellie Kildunne's yellow card, no comment.
And I just kept you know when you see a video and you just replay. I just kept on it for like ages, and I just saw you like tracking back, and then you just putting your hand in, whoop,
yeah.
And I'm then there, and I'm like, what the hell did you just do?
Yeah.
But please tell everyone what you proceeded to say after, and probably you still feel now.
Yeah, well, I actually wanted to call someone like Poppy Cleo for this, because I know she's obviously Nors. I'm glad you said it. Nors, she knows all the rules in the book, and also knows how to bend them as well. And to my knowledge, up until that point, a ruck is not formed until someone is like in contact going over the ball, so there's no offside. So in my head, I'm not offside because there's no ruck.
If anyone else can hear in her voice, she still thinks that she's not in the wrong.
So then I obviously was like, well, there's no offside here. So just put my hand out and just pulled it backwards. It didn't go forwards, it went backwards. And then I obviously went off, and I was saying to Ethan, our S&C, who's on the side of the water, I said, Ethan, what's that for? And he goes, they said cynical side entry. I said, side entry to what? There's no breakdown. The night after, which we'll go into, I'm at the bar waiting for a drink. I look across, who do I see? The referee who carded me. And I went, you. And she looked at me. I said, why did you card me? And
still proceeded to ask, even though you knew the answer.
Yeah, I said, why did you card me then? And she was like, cynical side entry. I said, right, you owe me a drink now. So we laughed about it after. But yeah, I won't be doing that again. I thought that was going to be my one and only jackal of the whole tournament. But yeah, no. When we went back to the changing room, we went straight into the coach's room, and I said, so guys, I haven't just disappointed you guys, but I'm disappointed in myself. And I am really sorry for the yellow card. I'm just so happy we got the win, because if not, I think I'd probably retire at that point.
Well, I guess talking about the win, it wasn't a pretty one, was it?
It wasn't. And obviously you were on the pitch a lot longer than I was.
Yes.
We had 2 cards, so myself and Beau as well, which again I think was pretty harsh on Beau.
Yeah.
But up against, a very strong Canada team, what, in your opinion, was it that we came up against a very strong team, or did England not perform?
I think that is a tough question. I think it's 50-50. I think we weren't at our best.
No.
And no one can say that we were. But I do think Canada were very good. They'd done their research. They knew how we played. And like, credits to them, really.
Yeah.
Like, they put up a fight. And I have to admit, like, in the whole 43 times that I've played for England, that is the first time, and this isn't arrogance or anything like that, but that is the first time that I was like, holy hell, we're going to lose.
Yeah.
The first time. And again, like, it's not from arrogance, but they did just play really well. They knew our game plan, they knew our structure. And I just think for a team that's semi-professional / like amateur, say, like, that's unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like with Canada, it's always been the case where they are either really, really good or not that great. And said in, like, this is no offense to Canada, but we've either beat them 52-0 or it's been a really tight match, because in the World Cup it was the same story. It was a really tight match. They're a physical team, they're fit, they've got some big girls, very, very, very big girls.
I don't think our 6-day turnaround helped us personally. I think we went from probably one of the hardest games that we've played stat-wise, physically, like, from all the metrics that we've been given from our like S&C and like coaches, like that game against New Zealand was hard. And then to go for a 6-day turnaround to then play another physical athletic team is really difficult. And at the end of a tournament as well, like at the end of like a 3.5 week tour is also hard. So I think we have to credit Canada because they
100%.
definitely came out with fire, with fight, and they, you know, they wanted to rain on our parade. But then I think you have to credit us that, like Mo Hunt said at the end in the huddle, basically like, we haven't been tested like that. And actually it's a good dress rehearsal
100%.
for things that are coming up next year. And I 1,000% agree. Like, I don't want to be in that position again.
Yeah. And also teams are going to get better from that. They're going to learn from what did Canada do to England to get so close. So that's something as an England team we're going to have to review pretty hard and make sure that we always talk about that, keeping the gap.
Yeah.
But how do we recreate the gap now? It's not about keeping it because someone's closed it.
Yeah.
So how do we recreate a gap? And I think, we've got the ability to recreate it. We just need to look at that game and honestly analyse it. And I do think Canada showed up. I do think they had a really good team. I don't think we showed up though. So I do think that there's something that we need to look at as well and not focus too much on the other teams.
Yeah, definitely. What was your favourite thing about tour?
The whole tour?
Yeah, you only have one thing. And it can't be winning.
Yeah, well, I know we were both crying at the end. So the best thing about tour, I'd probably say the ice hockey was definitely up there. I think generally just the things that we did off pitch this time felt almost like organised, but and the whole team went, and it was really fun to be in those environments. We spoke about it a few weeks ago, but I definitely think that, and I was able to go to like so many music things. Like the little bar that I was going to on my own at the start of the tour, and just being able to sit and listen to music. We went to a country singer at one point as well, and even the sports events that we were at, the music was pumping all the time.
Good.
That tour for me, if I remember about it, is all music and nature.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoyed.
So no rugby, you don't.
Well, yeah, I thought we were talking rugby. I think the New Zealand game, obviously. We ran riot as a team, and I think it's one of the best team performances that we've been able to put out in a little while against top tier team. Even though we did come away thinking, there's things that we need to still better. It was a very fun game, especially for the back three. We got plenty of ball and we ran riot, so can't complain. How about you?
Probably same. I did really enjoy the New Zealand game. And I think for me personally, like just consistent game time. I know that sounds like mental, but like I think any rugby player at any level, like the more you play, the better and more consistent you get. And that I just felt like confident and comfortable within my ability. And I think that's maybe credit to the pre-season that I did and stuff like that. But that's what I think I've taken out this tournament.
100%.
But I'll go on to what Ellie alluded to why we were both crying at the end. I'll speak on my behalf and then Ellie can speak on obviously her behalf. But I was crying sorry, it's so pathetic. I was crying at the end because I was so fatigued and I was so exhausted. I was so drained. I was obviously really happy, but I felt like I probably could have cried 2 weeks before that at the end of those games. And I have been asked many a times, are you sure you did pre-season? But yeah, I am sure I did pre-season, but I was just so tired. Like, I think we discussed that as a back three, training does prepare you, but I don't think it does that at the same time. I think the amount of meters we covered, the amount of effort that we did, like accelerations, decelerations, I think we do a lot more in a game than actually in training. So that's why I cried. I think maybe it was a bit different to why Ellie cried.
I think the exhaustion hit me, but I think it was an emotional exhaustion because I wasn't like tired like I was in the New Zealand game at the end. But as soon as that whistle went, I just broke down crying. And I think reflecting on it, yes, I didn't have one of my best games and I was frustrated about that. But if I look back, I've been in camp now since the start of Six Nations last year with only maybe like 4 days max at home. I got a few weekends at home, but the emotional exhaustion that I had on me, I didn't think I realised until it finished, and then it felt like I can breathe out now. I can go home, I can find a bit of routine. But also I didn't want to not be in camp because I love playing international rugby and being in with the girls and absolutely loved that. But I think it all just hit me as soon as that whistle came, and probably a bit of relief that we did get that try at the end as well, because that definitely sealed the deal, because up until that point there was still 2 minutes left, and whoever scored was going to take the win. So I think it was just a roller coaster of a lot of emotions. But even since, I found myself like feeling absolutely fine, and then suddenly like I'll cry at a TikTok or something, because I just think emotionally I'm tired, and need this week to decompress, just reflect. I haven't had time to reflect on anything that has happened since the start of Six Nations last year, and now I've got a little bit of time to do that and just look back, actually feel the emotions, whether they're highs or lows, and just ride it, and you know, go into the Prem season and start again with Quins, which I haven't done in a long time now. And it just all hit me without even having to think about it. It just overwhelmed me, and then I was just crying, and then camera kept on coming to my face, and I kept on turning around thinking, get the camera off my face, because I'm crying right now and this is not very pretty. Alfie, our media guy, was doing this like fist pump thing after, and like the camera was coming like with his fist in front, and he came up to me and I was like, no, Alfie, not now. Not now. You not see the tears coming down my face. But yeah, that was my reason for just the breakdown, definitely.